subject is understanding self, right? And this subject is demand from me. So, what is understanding and what is self? Understanding self, we can divide. The understanding actually is separate than the self. So first we'll talk about the self, understanding will follow. Right? So what is self? Ma? Yes? Yeah. It's an interactive session. We keep it little lighter, so because we are all here to learn. So nobody is a boss, so don't worry. सुभाष जी, आप सुन सक रहे हैं?
जी जी, प्रॉपर, वेरी वेरी परफेक्टली, वेरी नाइस.
What is self? आप भी जवाब दे सकते हैं सुभाष जी. What is self?
Self maybe it's a soul or a spirit or various, maybe you can call also various things, but body, mind, and then the third is a self or a spirit or a soul.
Yeah. We won't talk about the soul because I do not think that is our experience right now. So we take self as first is as a body. So is self a body? First we go into details. Is self a body? Huh?
Physical aspect, yes.
Is self a body with physical aspect? Yes. Is self a body?
It's a body, is not self.
This you can join. Sorry?
Body is not self.
Body is not self?
Within yourself is self.
Sorry?
Within yourself is self.
Is body self or body is not self?
Self has a body.
Self has a body. So, but body is there because you cannot deny the body. You cannot reject the body. We reject the body in a spiritual way. First, let's understand: is spiritualism important in life?
Yeah.
Is spiritualism important in life?
Depending on what is spiritual.
Then what do you understand by spiritualism? Just we take 2 minutes on this because I think it's a very important thing to understand. Is spiritualism important in life?
To know ourselves, it is important.
To know ourselves, it is important. It's important.
It's understanding of mind, body, and to some extent, yes, soul also. Spiritualism. Completely understanding all the three aspects of.
We won't talk about the soul right now because understanding soul is something which is something is not.
Spiritualism is understanding within. Understanding mind and body together.
Understanding mind and body. Okay. Spiritualism is important.
Important to know ourselves, I think.
So roti, kapda or makan is important or spiritualism is important?
Equally important. Equally important.
Huh?
All four important.
Both.
Sorry? All both are important.
Yeah, both are important.
Then why not spirituality comes first and roti, kapda, makan comes first in our life?
Spiritualism comprises of roti kapda.
Reporter bola.
No.
This body is the vehicle through which you can body mind complex. If you thinking of what is spiritualism, what is life, what you are, and if this body is not fit, if I don't eat, if my body is not fit, my thoughts will go elsewhere. I'll become very weak. I won't be able to think also. So forget. Even trying to understand what is self and all that won't come up with it. But now, first of fit body and fit mind is necessary.
So normally people say कि पहला पेट भरना ये सब होना बाद में spiritualism. But they don't understand because they spend time on the movies, they spend money on the theaters, they spend money on the whatever they can get entertainment, but They have time for that. For spiritualism, it's not important, because that comes first, then everything will follow. Because there is nothing which is not spiritual. There is nothing which is not spiritual. Everything is spiritual, but only we have taken spiritual because we've been taught spiritualism as something different than us. It is something, a third party software which you have to upload and then it works. But it is nothing, there is no third party in it. It's just a self-operating system. So what is body? Self as a body. What is body comprised? What is body made up of? Cells, yeah.
Food that we have eaten.
Yeah, it's an energy. It's a complete energy system.
Energy.
One is the food. What is second?
Oxygen, air we breathe.
Air we breathe. Third,
Sunlight.
sunlight. Yes.
But we are elements of everything that is in nature.
Everything that is there in the nature, wonderful.
5 elements made of body is made of 5 elements.
5 elements.
Air, Vayu, Akash.
Right. And so what about the thoughts? That's again another energy factor which we normally don't consider. Now everything is related to the thought. We do not consider that. So basically what are we made of right now? What we understand body as is just a thought.
That's it.
That is what we understand body as. Because if you think that I am a body, you are a body. If you think I am not a body, you are not a body. Isn't it? The second element.
But should we think that we are a body, or we should not think we are a body?
Can you think that you are not a body? You have a vehicle. You have a vehicle. So you have, because if you don't have the body, you are not there. Then who will think? Second is energy, another energy, which we really drain out, which we really waste, and which is a wonderful energy, which is emotions. So body, emotion.
Motion.
What is emotion? We really waste that energy. Is emotion useful or it's useless?
It is useful if it is. We need emotions, but maybe balanced ones. Yeah.
How can you balance? Can you balance emotion? You can balance emotion.
So,
Means it's something which is there, you know, this side half kg, this side 1 kg,
Balance
and you
is-
can make it 3/4 kg both the side.
Balance in the sense we accept it, whatever the situation is. If today I am in a pain, I accept it. That's it. So then I don't grieve and grudge and oh, I have lost something and hold on to that thing. Accept it.
How many
Emotions-
people agree with her that if you accept the emotion, it will not disturb you? What do we understand by acceptance?
But all that what she has spoken about is only about the negative.
No, it can be positive also. If I'm happy, I'm not going to be happy for long. I have to accept that at this moment. And
How many times do we know that you have a leg? When did you know last that you have a leg? When you got hurt. Were you aware all the time that you had that toe which was hurt? You were aware of it? When are you aware that you have a mind or a brain? As a body part. It's a body. It's complete. The system. It comprises of everything. So when are you last aware that sound? When were you last aware of your brains? That you have a brain? When you had a headache. Yes. So basically, if there is a realization, there is a pain behind it. You agree with that? If there is a realization, there is a pain behind it. It can be headache, it can be whatever it can be desire, it can be anything. Because desire is also a pain. Right? So what is emotion?
feelings.
Huh?
Feelings near to what
Feelings,
one
yes.
can say
But what is
feelings.
it? Does the emotion give you happiness?
yes, it does.
Yes.
Yes, it
Also,
does.
yes.
Does emotion give you happiness? So you are always flowing into emotions. So that means you are always happy.
Happiness or sadness, these are only part of emotion.
Yeah, they are part of emotion.
Types of
But if emotions are giving you happiness, then it is wonderful. Then sadness is also wonderful.
But we stick to that. No, we stick to that happiness. We stick to that thing. We want
That's
that
nice.
same thing
What
again and
are
again.
we looking for in life? What is the search for? If we are searching for self, why we are searching for self?
Basically, you are searching for happiness only.
If you get self, you come to know.
At times, sadness is nothing but absence of happiness. As she said, you hold on to something, okay, this should be like this, I am happy to like that, but if that situation changes, so now I am not happy, that is why I am sad.
You are not happy, that's why you are sad. So you are into flowing into one emotion. So does emotion give you happiness or gives you what does emotion do to your body?
Sometimes happiness, sometimes sadness, sometimes.
But does it is there bliss in the emotion? Whatever emotion, you are in the emotion of love. You feel that I love that person.
For that person,
As emotion, I am
love.
talking about the emotion, not love as a spiritual love. I am talking about the emotion. You feel that you are in love with the person. What do you do as an emotion? What do you do?
If there is love, there is no emotion.
You go through a torture and you will torture the opposite person. Yes. You will torture the opposite person, and because you are going through a torture and you cannot give anything what you don't have. So right now you have pain and you will see to it that that pain is passed on. And you have reasons for it, you have questions for it, you have answers for it. Because if you are asking a question, any guy who is asking a question, either he is pure innocent or he knows the answer.
Usually knows the answer.
Most of the time.
Rather knows the answer, usually he is expecting that answer to come. He just wants his answer, what he knows, to be established.
Not necessary.
Most of
He
the time
may be looking for other answers also. Because right now on this I am looking for the other answers also. Because most of the time you ask question because you know it.
Yeah, most of the time it is, I want my answer to be confirmed.
So when I say I love, when I say I love you, sorry.
Looking for the answer from another angle, from another source.
Another source.
Another frequency.
Right. But when I say I love you, what am I expecting from you?
I love you. Me too.
I love you 2, I love you 3, I love you 4, I love you infinity.
Come, then it's a
See, what the emotions does, emotions doesn't balances with your brain, your mind basically. Emotion doesn't balance your mind because now you're flowing with the emotions. It doesn't balance your body, mind and anything. You're just flowing with the emotion, and emotion doesn't realize the presence. Emotion doesn't realize the existence. Because everything is existence. The self itself is existence. The soul is name given to that existence. Because there is nothing like a soul. If somebody says, I realize, what he realized? He realized his existence. He doesn't realize a soul. He may realize the oneness. But what is soul? He may realize one fullness, the completeness, the wholeness, which he calls soul. Atma is a name given to it. Atma is a name given to it. So emotions will trouble you. Isn't it? Emotions, they trouble us. Whatever emotion you call. When you see a beggar,
Basically, when you are flowing with emotions, you are in a state of unawareness.
totally, you are not aware.
So if awareness comes in, emotions will just fade away.
No, it
Or will
won't
they
fade
remain?
away.
Will they remain?
You will be knowing the emotions. You know, the awareness takes over. Then emotions are still there, but then you understand the emotion. You understand why it is happening to you. If you see a beggar, a very poor guy with all tattered clothes and he's in a bad shape, what you feel? You feel poor guy. You feel like, sorry?
Compassion or mercy for him.
Compassion? I don't think so. You still feel pity. You feel sorry. You feel sorry. Now why did you feel sorry about it? Because it's an emotion. Why did you feel sorry about it? If there is a compassion, you will pick him up, take him to the hospital, give him the best of the treatment, and you will give him a nice hug. Do we do that?
That's what we will do.
We don't do that. We don't do that. So if you see that, you feel like giving him something. Huh? You are emotional. So you cannot help him. In emotion, you cannot help people. If I feel that this man is suffering, sorry I'm using that, I mean this man is suffering, he has a back problem, a very major back problem. Now how do I look at him? Bechara. Can I do anything about it? This is emotion. That Bechara, I felt because that is emotion. He doesn't need Bechara Panna because he's going through a treatment. Wonderful. He's having his tablets, he's doing his exercise, he's doing everything, whatever, because he knows that I have a pain, I have to treat myself. But हम लोग कैसे देखते हैं? Wonderful. That's the best thing one can do. Prayer is a very high thing, very highest thing you can do. But that's the best thing you can do, because instead of giving beggar a rupee and encouraging him, I think prayer is the best thing you can do. But what we do otherwise, if somebody dies, क्यों मगर? हक जो है आत्मा की शांति के लिए, जब तक जिंदा था तो उसकी शांति नहीं मांगी थी, वो मर गया तो उसकी आत्मा की शांति मांग रहे हैं। आत्मा को शांति की जरूरत ही नहीं है। Does the Atma need shanti?
We are just doing our duty because we have to do so.
We think that it is our duty. We are not doing duty also. We think it is our duty.
We are tutored that way.
We are tutored that way. We have been told that that is how it should be. Because that time, that body doesn't need you. The dead man doesn't need you. He doesn't know. He is not aware. Till he was aware, we never cared for him. The other people around him, they need you. They need your love. They need your prayers. They need your blessing. But we don't do that.
What the Vedas teach, out of your 5 bodies, is only the sthul sharir, the human, the physical body which dies. The mind is still there.
Mind
so
is
when
still
you
there.
pray, so that mind also may shanti made.
You can pray. You can pray. But you pray is what उसकी आत्मा को शांति देवे. Do you pray उसके मन को शांति देवे? मन जिंदा है. Mind is alive. Mind is simple, nothing. It's memory. It's a memory bank. Mind is alive all the time.
Usually used term. Maybe it is just a usually used term.
Senseless term. Because again, it's conditioned. It is
So
told
when
by
you say the
somebody.
mind, so that means when you say the thoughts are alive,
Your thoughts are alive.
the person
That's why spiritualism teaches detachment. Because wherever, see, most of the time, how many things you remember? Suppose there are 10 things happening to you, a good thing happened to you, and one bad thing. 9 things good and 1 bad thing. What do you remember? The good things? You remember the one thing. Yeah, hurt. You remember the hurt. That is what the memory bank has done. That is what the mind has done. And that training is going on since generations. It's going on since generations because we don't see beautiful things. We haven't trained. Meditation is seeing beauty in everything. Meditation is not just closing eyes and sitting for 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 1 hour. It's just seeing beauty everywhere, in everything. Because when you start talking to yourself, you start being judgmental. You start separating yourself. You decide that okay, this is how it should have been. Most of the time, what emotions does. Again, I come back to the emotion. I see him saying something. Maybe he is emotionally different, and because if person is different, he can be different by emotions. He can be different by our thoughts. But that's a view. That is what his learning is. So it is wonderful. So in his emotions, he says something. Now my understanding, I am little intellectual, so I tell him, not this, sir. It should be this. Here, he didn't want the advice maybe at that time. He wanted somebody to understand him. And when can you understand him? When you have understood yourself. Otherwise, you're full of advice. Everybody is full of advice. Because everybody knows everything. So you just say, अरे नहीं ऐसा नहीं, ऐसा ही होता है ऐसा. And we do that. We do that because we are unaware. Many times knowingly we do because we are unaware. We know it. The knowing is a problem. So is emotion self?
Contained in the self.
It
It's contained in the self.
is contained in the self.
Basically, emotions come out of how we judge or judge a situation.
Yeah.
So the judging comes out of how we are conditioned.
Yeah. But that conditioning is coming not from one this thing. It is coming since generations. It's
But,
not that one
if a
time.
situation happens, suppose any situation happens now, all the people here will react or respond to it in a different way. And the difference will be depending upon what every one of us is conditioned to. So we may not react to a certain thing the same way.
Right.
So finally it's conditioned. Now why that conditioning has happened to a person is a different
So
thing
what
to
the
discuss.
conditioning does?
You just know
Either it will
if you
say
don't
yes,
respond.
either it will say yes, or it will say no.
No, it will just tell you what is the
Then the advice comes.
type of response.
First yes or no, then the advice comes. If you think that yes, I know this, you may quieten over there. You are ready to listen, and once you have no, the no comes very quick. Before you complete he completes the sentence, the no comes over here, and you are ready with the answers. Now I know what to answer him. So now you are waiting for in between words to catch that words, and you want to give him the answer. That is what the no does. And yes, you may listen to him. So that is what the intelligence will come to that. So body is self is body or nobody. Ma, self is nobody. So if I hit you right now, so you feel it's okay. You can never hit me.
મારવું હોય તો મળે કે જો તમારા તરફથી
Self is body or nobody. So self is body and self is nobody. So important is this. You got the point? Self is body and self is nobody. So important is this. IS is. That is important.
Body with self is somebody. Body without self is nobody.
Body without self
Is somebody.
Yeah, lovely.
Body without self is nobody.
Right.
It's a body.
So is now next is emotion self? So do we need emotion or we don't need emotion?
We need emotions.
We need emotion. But now what is happening? If we need emotion, we have emotions. What is emotion doing?
We are aware of.
What is emotion doing, sir? Subhashji.
Emotions, well, if we are aware of our emotions, it's a little different than if we are not aware of our emotions. Emotions are always, everybody has emotions, but if you are aware of that emotion, how level, what level, or not aware, that makes a difference. I think so. I mean, I don't know. This is what I think.
So you think, that means right now it is a thought.
Well, but I think some of the other emotions are important for us. If they are aware, if you are, can manage them, but emotions are definitely needed, but we cannot extreme, very low, very high, or somewhere balanced, energized. They are important.
Okay. You used word manage. Can we manage our emotions?
Self can manage.
नहीं, जो बात हम खाली जानते हैं, अनुभव में नहीं है, वो नहीं करेंगे हम.
जी, okay.
हाँ, जो वो तो किताबों में भी लिखी है. You can just pick up a book and read.
We can manage.
We can manage emotion.
Yes.
Doctor?
So awareness of emotion is a good level. We are aware. We
Yeah,
can
awareness and management, they are two different things. Can we manage emotion?
Is
Ma?
anger an emotion? Is anger also emotion?
We cannot manage emotion. Can we
aware
manage?
of emotion.
We can be aware of them. We cannot manage. Because management is something which should have a physical thing, property. You can manage land, property, money. You can manage something which is physical, but not something which is a non-physical thing. Because emotions are non-physical. You can be aware of it. That is what sadhana teaches us, to be aware of that emotions. Now whatever 5 elements, they are linked to your emotions, most of the thing. The body is made up of 5 elements. All the 5 elements are related to your emotions. And that emotions, that makes your body, the overall. The first cry of a child, and from the birth, the first cry, after that he is crying throughout his life, that child. He is growing up, but he is still crying. One day he stops crying. Then other people cry. Till that time, nobody was crying. They were enjoying his cry. They were using his cry. This is what is emotion doing to us. Then people cry. I don't know why they cry when somebody passes away. But when he was crying throughout his life, there was nobody around him. That is what the emotion is. The third part, as a self, mind. Is the self mind? Yes, it's no. So there is saying that you have to drop the mind. Can one drop the mind?
Yeah.
You can drop the mind?
Drop the thoughts.
You can drop the thoughts? You can drop the mind? You can drop the mind? Or mind gets dropped? See, if you can drop the mind, the process is a doing process. Something you can just keep tucked. You can do. It's so easy thing. But when something which is a non-doing process, it is not easy. You cannot drop the mind. Because if there are emotions, they are created by the mind. If you know something, it is of the mind. And mind is nothing, it's just a memory bank. Sometimes you are just sad and there is no reason to be sad. You just feel lonely or just feel something. You feel something, there is emptiness. You miss something. A very spiritual moment. There is no reason, but you still feel lonely. Have you ever experienced samadhi? Yes. Have you ever experienced samadhi? Have you been to a spot, a beautiful spot, a lake, and you felt so nice? You just be there, you watch a tree or you watch you are on the hill station, and for that 1 second you see a sunrise, you see a sunset, you feel so nice. That's samadhi. You just merge. It's so beautiful. So if somebody says that samadhi is not something which you have to sit and the land will get apart and you'll go into it, or you'll be put in the wall, brick wall, and nothing. Or somebody is dying, that is samadhi. Samadhi is something where you merge. You are just there, you know everything, but still you feel so good, and still you don't own anything. There's a moment. So you see beautiful sunset and you feel hush. That is samadhi. What is the education you need behind that? To appreciate and love beauty. Do you need mind over there? Just like something. Using all your 5 senses. Your emotions are also there. Your body is also there. And still you are not there, and you feel so beautiful about it. That's samadhi.
What is it that feels so beautiful?
You'll come to that. We'll come to that. We are coming to that. So is mind, you cannot drop mind. Mind gets dropped.
Yes, no.
You have to observe your mind. You have to understand your mind. You have to know your mind. The understanding comes on. Now what is mind made up of?